Would you like to know how to get rid of trees? Are they on your property? You want to expand it a little bit? There's different ways you can get rid of them. So let's jump into that and I'll show you. Okay, the cheapest way is to go to where you buy stuff, the shop, go all the way down to the left to hand tools, and you're going to buy a chainsaw for $1,000. Once you do that, it will show up on your hand tool menu. And if you're on a controller, you hit LB and the top of the cross button there, and your chainsaw is going to come up. So what we're going to do is chop down this tree here. It's hard to see here, too many bushes. So what I want to do is get close. On controller, I'm going to hit Y to squat down, and I'm going to get it as close to the ground as I can. And I'm going to hold down the B button while I'm holding down the Y button. And I'm going to cut this tree down, and it's going to fall to the right as long as you got your chainsaw oriented like I do. Now my tractor here has something on the back. This is a winch. Okay, to find the winches, what you're going to do is go to the shop and scroll down until you see the forestry menu, and you'll see winches. The cheapest one's only $8,500, and you need only 60 horsepower. I've got this one because it's a little better, pulls more weight. Okay, it will pull a bigger tree, and you need 80 horsepower for that. There you go. So that's what I have on the back of this tractor. Now I could just hook this up and drag it over to the sawmill. There's a sawmill right there. However, I found that if you chop it up into like 3 pieces, you will get more money. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, there's a piece. Chop another one here. Now, when you cut the tree, you got to be careful that it's on your land. I'm off of my land now, so it won't let me cut it. So what I should have done is grabbed it and drug it over to my land. Okay, another thing your winch does is you can lower it. Maybe you're trying to get close to one of the other logs, and you can lower it and then push the other log that you're attached to back. I'm going to go to the back, press in on L on controller, then RB and A to attach. Okay, going to drag this over to my land. Let's make sure I'm on my land. Cut this one again. Now once you cut, if you cut them and they've already been attached, they'll come unattached. So I'm just going to reattach these two. And you do have a certain amount of cable. It's not unlimited. So you want to get kind of close. There we go. Now I can drag this to the sawmill. And I'll show you another way if maybe the sawmill's far away from you. Some other things you can do. I got a couple of mod options here for you too. Now, the more powerful your tractor is, the more it's going to be able to drag these. But this is a small 3650 John Deere with only 116 horsepower, and it does the trick. Slowly but surely, it's getting these over there. You can get a trailer or something to put them on if you have a bunch, but I have some other solutions too. See how much we get. Okay, we got $1,800 for that. You will not get as much if you don't cut it in 3 pieces. So if you're in a hurry, you don't have to cut them all. But if you are, there you go. But if you're not in a hurry and you can cut them into 3 pieces, you're going to make more money. All right, here's our stump. Now what do you do with that? Because it won't let you build over that. It's still in the way. So let me show you. The cheapest way is a stump grinder. If you go back to forestry, you go across to stump cutters and you'll see it there for $27,000. You need only 90 horsepower to use it. That's it right there. All right, so we have the stump cutter on our tractor. There it is. I'm just going to go in here and turn it on. What I try to do is just line this up like this and right over the top. And the stump is gone. Okay, suppose your sawmill is far away. Okay, far away. You have a couple of options. You can put it on a trailer and, carry the logs over there. but I've got some easier options. Let me show you. One, if you go to construction menu under factories and scroll down till you see the ones that are 36,000. And one of them is the very small Sawmill, this little deal here. So you, for 36,000, you could put that on your property somewhere, and you can process some logs. Now, if you're into forestry and you have all this to do, you don't want to use this one because it's very part-time and the capacity is small. Okay, capacity is small. Well, let me show you. But it works if you're doing it part-time. Every now and then you're chopping a tree or two down and putting it in here, and then you can either send it or you can turn it into some planks and sell the planks or whatever. There's options to sell your products, but it's slow. Okay, check this one out. This is a mod. Okay, small wood distributor. Okay, and it looks just like the other Sawmill almost, if it's different color. Okay, and you can put this on your land, but the capacity on this is way higher than the standard Sawmill for 36,000, and this cost only 25,000. And what you can do with this, instead of just selling the wood or turning it into planks, you can send it to the Sawmill or send it somewhere else. If you have something else that you own, you can send it over there. So I use this on forestry map, and I send it to the paper mill because I own the paper mill. So that's pretty cool. So this one is a lot better option. It is a mod, but it's on all platforms, and you can use it. All these things are on all platforms. So it's very, very handy to put on your property if the sawmill is far away, and then send your wood. And this has a high capacity. You'll be hard pressed to fill that up like the other one. The other one you can fill up with a few trees, a couple of trees. Okay, another option to get rid of the stumps and or bushes and some small trees is this puppy. It's a mulcher. Once again, you go under forestry over to mulchers and you'll see it. Now the first one there is for a big excavator. So unless you have one of those, be careful. Don't get that one. That one's not going to work. You need the one that's $89,500. Okay, that's this puppy. And you also need 360 horsepower to make this thing work. I'm going to show you another option that's a mod. This is standard. I'm going to show you another option that's a mod that works a little better. But what you can do with this, it will get rid of stumps, small trees. You can turn it on, lower it down, and it gets rid of these bushes and stuff. Scrapes it down to the dirt. Okay, let's try to get rid of a tree. Raise it back up. Okay, it's actually getting rid of this tree right there. Takes a minute, but you can actually get rid of trees if you don't want to get the money. And it's down. Now you got to run over it so you can try to get rid of it. Be sure you get all the pieces. See, I left some pieces. And it finally gets rid of it and it's gone. Now let me show you a mod that's better, that's very similar to this mulcher, but it just works better. Okay, here's the mod. It's called Tree Be Gone. Tree Be Gone has been around. It was in farming similar to 22. Been around for a bit. So if you've been playing for a while, you've probably seen this before. Okay, if you go to the mod hub, this is what you're going to see. Tree Be Gone. Now be careful. This one, the small one, it works only on a skid steer, not a tractor. But if you have a skid steer, that's a good option, okay, for 22,000. If you don't, and you have a tractor with 200 horsepower, so you don't need as much horsepower as you do for the mulcher, okay, 200 horsepower. So you can do this with a medium-sized tractor. You probably need to put a weight on the other end, though. But it's $42,000. Look at that. And it's pretty cool. Let me show you how it works in action here. It is just easier to do than the mulcher. Watch this. Boom. Just a little more efficient. Easier to do. You hit a tree and it's gone. Look at that. Boom. Okay, another option are wood chippers. Wood chippers, if you're far from the sawmill, you could get something like this, pull it with your tractor. You need 150 horsepower to pull it. You got to put your trees in there, and it's going to turn it into wood chips, and then you can sell the chips. So that's an option too. All right, that's pretty much how you get rid of trees. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. If you like this, share this with your farming buddies. I'm Farmer Teacher. I'll see you on the next go-round. Bye-bye.